So first of all, I have to ask you a very important question. How are you able to walk out to Mickey? I thought Dana had put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, that's as far as I knew too. I was standing there, like right at the line. The cameras are in front of me. Like, all right, it's your like, you know, you're coming out now. And all of a sudden, the music starts playing, and I was like, I turned to my guys. I was like, is this me? Is this me? Did they switch it? Yeah. So I found out when everyone else did.
Did you think for a second CM Punk was like going WWE and punking you there with that song?
Well, I knew I was coming out first,
Yeah.
but that was a theory of some of my friends, was that he was gonna walk out to that. But I expected him to walk out to Cult of Personality too. I was rocking out to that in the ring when he was coming out to that.
Yeah.
Shadowbox, feeling good, yeah.
It's a great song. Let's get to this fight. So, I mean, what an amazing fight for you for your second fight in the UFC. You know, a lot of high risk, high reward. Did you feel that way going into this?
Yeah, I said the exact same thing. It was a high risk, high reward. If you know, it's high reward, a lot of exposure for beating up a famous guy. High risk, if anything happens, and anything can happen in MMA. Any lucky shot, you know, we're throwing bones at each other. The human body can get turned off, and I'd be the joke of the world today had that been the case. So high risk, high reward. But I'm a fighter. I'm a gambler. Any fighter will go in there and take that same risk.
Was there any thought of that? I mean, we've seen like one punch here and there end fights, you know, and change the shape of UFC. Was there any fear of you like going into this fight that maybe something like that could happen with CM Punk?
Yeah, there's always a little bit of fear of that. Of course, every fight you're going out there, but now I've been hit by a lot tougher dudes than him, and I'd never been out, so I was confident. It's more of an irrational fear, I guess, but yeah, you know, I knew I'd be able to dominate him in all fashions, and that was the plan.
Did you see anything in it, like at weigh-ins on Friday when he wouldn't shake your hand? Did you feel like you had the upper hand there, that you were kind of in his head, he wasn't in yours?
I think he was doing that to try and get in my head, or, well, what I told him when he didn't shake my hand was I was like, you're acting, man. You're still an actor. We're gonna fight tomorrow. You know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna hurt you. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hurt you. That's what I told him. I don't know what that was about. I think it shows a lack of fighter maturity on his part. I think fighters who really go through it, blood, sweat, and tears, you're gonna shake your other guy's hand. You're still gonna go in there and try to kill each other, but you'll give respect to him, shake his hand.
Yeah, it was interesting to see him do that. And then you brought pain to him right away in this fight. I mean, like 3 seconds into the fight, you were on top of him. Do you feel this fight went as perfectly as it could for you? I mean, you dominated, the 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, it was important for me to set an example. I felt an obligation to myself, my team, my sport, especially my sport, to show you can't just walk in here and do what we do. It takes a lot of time. I would have liked to drop him on the feet and then had to submit him. I want to do that. I want to work my striking. I was working a lot with Sean Diggs, one of my coaches. But he came in too hot. He came in way too aggressive. He wanted to show, I'm a tough fighter. I'm not, and I was part of me was expecting that. But I let my training take over. You come in that fast, I'm gonna take you down every time.
Did you feel like as soon as you're on top of him, there was a rush to finish it? Did you want to finish it as fast as possible to kind of send that message?
No, I wanted to hit him first. I was gonna tenderize him and make him give me the submission. Yeah, I didn't feel a rush. I was to be honest, I was taking my time. I was hitting him. I wasn't going rushing too crazy. I was gonna let the submission come. I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing, just flow, let him make mistakes and capitalize.
You capitalized pretty well. But after yesterday, we found out that CM Punk made $500,000 for the fight. I think we have you down for $30,000. A lot of UFC fighters yesterday were on Twitter bashing CM for that. What's your thought on that discrepancy in payday?
Man, I was hoping he would miss weight so I could get 20% of that. I figured that was the figure. I figured it was somewhere around there. I'm happy to have made what I made. And he brought a lot of pay-per-view buys, I'm sure, so that he was being compensated for that. I get where other fighters are coming from, absolutely. I don't think I'm the guy to hate on that figure per se.
Yeah, it's your second fight in the UFC.
I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to rock. I want to go.
Yeah.
Fight.
I mean, you showed that when Dana found you, and Dana finding a fight by calling out CM Punk, and then after this fight, you call out Sage Northcutt. I have to ask you, did you channel Nate Diaz a little bit? You kind of sounded like him when he was calling out Conor back in the day.
I could see the comparison. I did have a big potty mouth, and I felt bad about that after. But I gotta say, man, when you say the F word on TV, people pay attention. But yeah, I was being myself. Myself plus the added emotion of 20,000 screaming around you. So yeah, it was. I was a little excited. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Nate Diaz. So maybe.
Yeah, he sounded like when he was calling out Conor, I was like, you kind of sound like Nate Diaz there calling out Sage. You called Sage corny. Why do you think Sage is corny?
You don't think he's corny?
No, he's different.
Yeah. Nah, man, I don't know. He's just like he's just kind of a cornball. I don't know. I think he's a talented fighter. I just think he's corny. He's just kind of corny, man. That's just the word. You know when someone's corny. He's corny.
Mm-hmm. And when did this Sage Northcutt idea come? I know you didn't think of it right there in the octagon. When did this idea come to your mind? Or did it come in the octagon?
Nah, I've been planning it. I'm a thinker. I think about stuff. Like I try and have a strategy. But I don't know how long ago, but also I was, especially when I heard that he's planning on coming up to 70, I was like, oh, well then that says it. I just think it'd be a good fight. I think it'd be fun. We're both Dana White looking for a fight, guys. So yeah, I think it makes sense. It'd be a fun fight.
What do you think would happen in that fight between you and Sage?
Oh, a sec. Mark, can you stop with the water for a minute? All right. Sorry about that.
What do you think would happen in that fight with you and Sage?
I beat him up. I beat up Sage. I'm a lot longer than him. I clip him with shots. I know I've been around, man. I've seen karate style guys like that. I know how to beat those guys. And my ground game, my ground game, I can do whatever I want to him down there. He's on paper. It's more of one of those classic striker versus grappler matches. He's been doing karate his whole life. I think it's karate, and I'm more of a grappler. I'm a submission specialist. So I just think it'd be a fun fight, man. I'd knock him around a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen him do some of those flips after some wins, and does that rub fighters the wrong way when they see guys kind of celebrating like that in the octagon?
It's just corny when he lands and he goes, like he does that stupid I don't know, man. It just goes along with his corniness. It doesn't rub me the wrong way. It's pretty looking, but that isn't gonna help him in the octagon with me.
And what do you feel? Where does this fight stand? I know Dana said afterwards Saturday night that Sage's people reached out to him after they heard you. Have you heard anything about where this fight stands?
I don't know. We all heard Dana say we're gonna make that happen. Mm-hmm. So, that sounds like something's definitely happened on that end. I don't know the specifics. I haven't been told anything, but I hope it happens. And I can't wait.
Is there a message if Sage is gonna be watching this on television? Is there something you want to say to him to get this thing going?
No, not really, man. Just come and let's fight. It'd be a fun fight. Let's do it. We're both relatively untested. We both haven't had high caliber fighters. I think we're both a step up in each other's career. It'll be a fun fight. Let's test ourselves. Let's do it.
Back to CM a little bit. Have you heard from a lot of fighters, congratulating you for doing what you did to him as kind of solidarity between the fighters of UFC?
A little bit. Not a crazy amount. People leading up to it, they were like, "Hey, man, they're like, what's up. You got to represent." So yeah, I did feel that obligation, and I needed to represent for my sport, for the the veterans, for all the real MMA fighters. I needed to represent.
Did you feel a weight come off your shoulders, in the octagon Saturday night after that victory?
Honestly, I almost wish it could continue. Usually, yeah, you get a nice breath of relief when it ends, but I loved it. Every second in there, it was amazing. You know, it was the most fun 5 minutes I had in my life, man. Hearing the crowd, feeling it under the lights, getting to do what I do every day, but now just in front of a lot of people who are interested in it. Oh, it's beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you how much your life has changed in the past year. I mean, you go from, you know, Dana coming to one of your fights and trying to get a fight in the UFC to what you did Saturday night. I mean, it's got to be a crazy year for you.
Yeah, man. It's been a little surreal. It's been fast. I love it though. It's a dream come true. Every decision I've made in my life since the age of 16 was leading towards becoming a UFC fighter. I chose to go to college at Rutgers so I could train at Gracie, New Jersey, and AMA Fight Club. Every decision I made was towards this goal, and now it's happening. So I'm ready, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Such a big lead up to the fight with CM Punk, and now it's Tuesday afternoon, and you're in your house. Like, what is it like coming off of that high of Saturday night?
I'm jonesing for that again. I want to get back in the cage, man. That's why I said I'd like to fight in the Garden on that November card. I don't know if that would be possible. That'd be ideal. You can't win. You can't get them all. I mean, I've been pretty blessed, you know, in my MMA career so far. But you know, hey, I'm ready to go again. I want to fight. I'm enjoying, you know, a little time off of not being in a fight camp, but I'm ready to get right back at it, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. I mean, if you come out and you want the CM Punk fight, and then you get the Sage Northcutt fight, and you fight at Madison Square Garden, like, you're running the UFC now, not Connor.
Yeah, it would almost be unfair, man. I'd be happy. But honestly, wherever you want to put me, I'm ready to fight. Whatever. But I'd like Super Sage Northcutt in the Garden. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. We can't wait for those Garden fights. It's going to be an electric atmosphere in there.
My backyard, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time. We look forward to following your careers. It was impressive what you did Saturday, and like what you do in there.
Thank you very much, man. It means a lot. I appreciate it.